car when it's summer, too hot, and when it snows a lot, it stops some of the snow, okay? And scatter all over instead of all falling on your car. It's very good. And the wind and all that, it's good for your car and good for you. I don't try to cut all of them out. Yeah, you destroy the forest. We try to preserve them, and meanwhile can use them. And also when you pitch your tent, please don't clean the leaves, the dry leaves. Keep your tent good. Keep your tent, protected from the moist ground, and also from, it's soft. Keep your tent soft, like carpet. So it's very good for you. Also, when you take your tent away, the earth will not become naked, and the rain will not, flow all the water down, all the earth down. And later we have mountain no more. So just keep the leaves, they're clean. The leaves are very clean and very soft, and beautiful. For your feet, it's very soft like carpet. Yeah. We should try to enjoy nature and preserve the natural environment. They're always good for us. That's why I don't allow people to cut the trees where it's not necessary. Where it's not necessary. The weather has changed in many places drastically because people cut too many trees, and they cannot grow fast enough to replace replace them. And the weather change and the rains has been all washed away instead of preserved in the earth, because the trees, they attract rain, and also they keep the water. You understand? And it flows slowly down, and it preserves the mountain, also preserve the stream and the river and all that. If we cut all the trees, we will be short of water, and the weather will change drastically that we could not bear. That's why many places, many countries, they are short of water. Sometimes because they cut trees at random, not considering how it will be after in the future, because our children still have to live on, they will go on to live. After we die, after I die, the center is still here, and your children will come. Understand? So it's not for 1 day, 2 days that you use any places. You have to keep them for the future. We have to preserve things that we enjoy. We have to think ahead into the future, not just that, I can use it today, tomorrow I don't care, and damage everything. That's how people damage many beautiful places and cut so many trees and kill so many animals, Animals are there for some reason, for some reason. They are also inhabitants of the earth, and we have no right to kill them. Sometimes I've heard some people say that the research has announced that animals, they heal sickness sometimes, probably because of their love. That's why many people like to keep dogs and cats despite the inconvenience and the attachment that they bind people with. But because they are so loving, and probably they are so soothing somehow to them, so they feel good and keep them. The same, trees and water, forests, they also heal. Don't you feel better when you walk a little bit in the forest? Your eyes feel better? No? Yes. And your lungs feels good, And your skin feels smoother, And your mood is calmer, no? This is all due to the nature, the trees, and the air that they breathe out to give us the oxygen. Therefore, it is very necessary to keep nature intact as much as we can. If we tell the professional, for example, to make a park lot out of this, I think all the trees will be gone. Only cement left over, right? But I don't think it is necessary to do that. We have big land and we can afford to just park between trees. Because when you park in that park over here between the trees, and sometimes you don't feel like walking down right away down yet, you just saw a friend, you can just stand underneath of the tree next to your car and have just a few words with each other. It's better than standing on top of the overheat cement concrete floor, and then talk, and then both also smoking up. They had to smoke up. Yes. It gives people a very hard feeling, standing on the concrete floor. So I think I like to preserve the trees, not only because for me, but it's for everyone, for America, for the world. Everywhere we go, we have to try to protect nature. Especially now that we are a so-called meditator, we should prove that we are very sensitive, understand, to the environment and to the need of other people. I cannot believe a person who parks his car and then he has to cut a tree just because it was in front of his car. He should park elsewhere, understand? How can a person do like that? Waste the time, waste manpower. We already work all day to make a parking lot for him. And then here he came, park one car and cut the big tree. So big already. So big like that. Big like that. Takes 20 years maybe to grow until the tree is that big, Very seldom I allow to cut big trees, except when it's absolutely in the way. I just say cut the small trees because they just grow. And this tree will grow maybe a few months. So a few months later, another tree will grow like that. So it's not much a loss, understand? It's not yet very important. But even then, only when necessary. Yes. Otherwise, I don't let them cut him. It's difficult to grow tree, but easy to cut it. Well, not necessary. Why? I cannot bear that. It's a cruelty, inconsideration, and stupid. Really. Cannot just do things like that. Everybody come in, park a car and cut a tree. Or maybe 2 trees. And then soon, no more tree. Just because he doesn't like it in front of his car, he just cut it so that he can go through. He doesn't want to reverse the car. I cannot believe it. So, try to understand this, Not only here, but wherever you go. Try to preserve nature. Only destroy whenever absolutely necessary. Waste the time, Waste the beauty of nature, and we'll waste manpower. And sometimes waste money, Although I could not imagine to cut that tree down. I'm very protective with trees, animals, grasses, everything. Very protective because I feel hurt when they are destroyed. Even with reason, it's already bad enough. But we can't just be too ridiculously strict. You understand what I mean? But we cannot just cut things at random. It shows our cold-blooded nature. It's no good, When I was a little bit younger, maybe about 15 years ago or something like that, When I was still adventuresome, I have somehow put money into one of the restaurant business, joint venture with somebody. Some of my partners, it was a little bit probably inconsiderate in nature. They meant well though. They meant well. Because in our restaurant we plant a lot of kind of house plants. You make it look fresh and green, because in the city you have nothing. So in our restaurant we try to make it beautiful. You know how I love beauty, and try to arrange things according to the circumstances to improve the nature of the place that we stay. So the same with the restaurant. Anyhow, many plants are there and it's beautiful, beautiful, no problem at all. Until that they began to think. And then think that it's better for the plant to have ultraviolet, violent light or something like that. So he bought a so big, huge violet lamp, 2 or 3, and put them scarily in front of the plant, like this. And I have warned them that they're very strong. If you want to put far away and one at a time, because that should be enough. Because also in the daytime we keep the neon lamps burning, because that's also kind of light for them, and they grow fine, no complaint. So green, so lush, and it's no problem, very shiny, and I clean them sometimes, and I pump water. Yes, I dare not put the whole waterfall in, but I just pump them, spray them, make it a misty, and they love that. Until that guy, he put that violet lamp there. And I have told him not to do it, but they don't listen. And so many of my plants burned to death. Oh, I cried. I was so hurt for the plant. When I see like that, I nearly drop down on my knees, I feel so hurt because I feel the plant get hurt. I feel as though if I am burned like that, how would I feel? You understand? And especially the plant, they cannot speak. They're helpless. They just stand there and get burnt slowly like that. Oh, the feeling is so awful. You understand? As though if they are human, I feel like that. I'm very protective. That was before I even practiced Guanyin method. So you can understand now, my feeling must be even more intense than that, more sensitive than that. So I think you should understand, if I don't let you cut trees, and if I say no, you must not cut them. Yeah? It's not necessary. I supervise the whole things, and I let them cut what necessary tree already. We have destroying nature also inside us. And depends on each person, the destroying tendency is higher or lower. But try to cup it, Try to control it. Otherwise, you carry on the whole time with your destroying spirit. And that is very negative, you understand? We both have negative and positive inside. But we only use the negative when necessary. Not that I say cannot use it. Understand? Because if a negativity or negative power, when you use it in the right place, is very good, very good. Understand? Just like your children at home, you always being positive to them, encouraging them and loving them and tell them all the good things. But when they are too naughty, or when they try to be stubborn and not, obedient enough and doing wrong things or harming others people or neighbor, then you have to use a so-called negative. Attitude, negative attitude. But actually, in that case, it is positive. You understand? Because you have to scold them, or maybe punish them lightly. Like they have to kneel, or they have to stay at home when you go out, and things like that. Yeah, cut down some of their enjoyment, or pocket money, or whatever. You understand? This look like negative, because how can let's say, parents supposed to be always loving, forgiving, and smooth and soft talking. How can punish children? But they deserve it. They have to be. Understand? Otherwise, they cannot turn into positive. And that is when negative power comes into useful purpose. Don't say always negative cannot use or positive have to use all the time. If you use positive power or positive attitude in the wrong way, it's negative. It becomes negative. Understand? Yes. For example, if your child is very naughty, he goes out, you give him everything already, but he tried to go out to steal just for fun, or just because he associate with bad guys, yeah? Or he get the drug and things like that, or go out and break people's car, and you tell him and he doesn't change, and you still keep awarding him and loving him and forgiving him, then you are negative. Then your attitude is negative. Then you are spoiling him, you're harming his future. Because one day the police will catch him, or the neighbor will catch him, or another strong guy will hit him, and he break his bones, and break everything of his future, and break your heart as well. Understand? In that case, your positive attitude is absolutely negative. Worse than the supposed to be negative. Understand? Yeah. So we have to understand this yin-yang nature and make use of both accordingly. Not to dislike one and cling to the other, but to know how to use them. And that's the art of living. That is wisdom. Otherwise, how else can we survive in this world? And to take care of ourselves and take care of our loving people. Understand? It has to be some limit. So now, the same with me, huh? So you don't always expect me to give you candies and smile all the time. I have to do some of my negative work and turn them into positive. And turn these negative people into positive. Huh? Otherwise you never grow up. Understand? Many of you are adult, look like. Outside, big, tall, fat, but inside, like a small boy and small girl. Not responsible for yourselves and not responsible for anything else. Understand? It's not possible. So, sometimes I tell the monk also, if the monk he comes here and he thinks he come here, he became a monk, so everybody has the duty to serve him. And then he cut off all his ties with the world and then he finished. Then he doesn't have to be in the center. Understand? He can go to Himalaya, find a cave. Yeah, and snatch the food with the monkeys. Then he has no problem. He doesn't have responsibility. But when he stay in a good place, you understand? When people take care of the place, then he has to share the responsibility. Even though there's nothing else he has to do. He doesn't have to earn the money, he doesn't have to pay the tax, he doesn't have to take care of the family. But these are small things that we have to take care when we are around together. Understand? Even I have to do it. Not because I need to park my car up there. But since I am in this situation, since you came, I try to help you. I try to solve the problem that we are together here. Since I am with you here together, I try to help you. Understand? It's just like if I am in trouble, you might try to help me also. Not because you need it for yourself, but because we are together. You understand? You take my problem as your problem. And I take your problem as my problem because we are together. That is all. So we have to always feel joyful, if possible. If not, then just work and not to feel joyful. You can feel miserable, but work. Since we are together, we have to bear sometimes of the burden of each other, even though it's not for our sake. It's very difficult not to be responsible. Understand? It's all right to say to be a monk and then I don't need to do anything, I'm free. Yes, you are free. Because you have no wife, no kids, no telephone bill, no electricity, nothing. Everything is taken care of by Master even. Yeah? You don't need to do anything at all. Just something inside the center, right? It's not so much work really. They have some work, but it's not the way we work outside. Not that you have to show up at 8 o'clock and go out at 5, and no more, no less, yeah? And not that you have to wait until Saturday you get off. It's alright when you don't feel well, you don't work, it's okay. But try to find some work to do and cooperate with each other. That's what I teach my monk also. Because many of them outside had illusion about monkhood. They think they just come inside and find a room and then just go around with a rosary. Very romantic, they think that way. And then get enlightened every step. It's okay. If you are too close to enlightenment, you don't see it. So we have to also work around it, Even though gold dust is very precious, but when you put it next to the eyes, it blurs your vision. Understand? It's not supposed to put so close. So don't just come here and think, I have to get enlightenment. I must get enlightenment. I don't cook, I don't cut grasses, I don't see people, otherwise I cannot get enlightenment, Cannot do that. You get enlightenment anyhow. If you meditate. And just be an ordinary person, just do your work, do what you have to do and meditate. The amount that prescribed at least, and that's it. And you get enlightenment anyhow. Even though we are very hungry, but it doesn't mean we sit and eat all day. You understand? Doesn't matter how hungry you are. You eat a certain amount only, you have to do other things, right? And even digest it and eliminate it in order to get new one. So the energies we eat from food are the spiritual blessing we get from meditation. We have to let it flow out. Understand? And renew every day. Otherwise, we don't grow. If the child drink 2 bottles of milk, say 2 liters even, and then he stop there, say that's it, keep it, If I exercise, if I play, the milk will get digested and all the energy will be gone, and then, that's a waste of the 2 liters of milk, It's not correct. He has to play. Because he gets energy from milk, but then he has to drink again milk, and then he can play, and then by exercising, by drinking, by playing, he grow up. Understand? The same with spiritual issue. We have to let it flow out. And also with food, because we eat, we have to digest them, and we also use some of our muscle energy. That's how we keep our body and mind in a good condition. Because people say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you're idle, you think a lot of bad things, and you're fearful of everything. And your mind is gone kaput, finished. Because you're not used to with thinking, not used to with adjusting, not used to with judging how to work, understand? How to measure things by just looking. Your mind is not sharp when you're not use it. You understand? So you have to use it every day. If you don't want to train your hands, your feet and your mind, who's the fault? Your own. Even if we want to drive car well, we also have to practice every day, right? If we want to play tennis well, have to practice. You know how many hours a day a pianist practice? At least 6 hours. 6 hours, 8 hours. And I knew one guy in Taiwan. He is a master of Tai Chi Chuan, a kind of martial art. Before he met me, before he became, master of martial art, he practiced 13 hours a day. Walking, sleeping, eating, everywhere. Even when the friends are talking with him, he is doing his things. At the same time, people used to think he's crazy. Yeah. Fancy talking to his girlfriend and just, moving his fingers and feet all over places. In the wrong places. Yeah, nobody be able to talk to him before very long. Because even if you talk to him, he's just moving around, in his circle and his hands and all that, and people thought he was crazy, but it wasn't true. He was too serious, he was very serious. When he learned something, he wanted to learn it to the end. No wonder he was good at that, except his master and another one. He's excellent for what he had learned, Of course, there were a little bit higher level than that. And now after he got initiation, he knew what is a better martial art. So he didn't practice 30 hours a day now, but he meditate maybe 30 hours a day. I don't know. This guy is dead serious. Oh, and he was all hand and feet for this business, Every Sunday he would wait for me to come down just to protect me, yes. Because too many people want to grasp here, grasp there. And so he thinks people are too rough, So he tried to protect me. Every Sunday, keep waiting down there, together with other people. And he came every morning, very early, before about 5 o'clock. Rain or shine, just to teach some of our people martial art. Just to keep exercising for the body, because also it's good for them. It's kind of exercising. When I tell them to go get up and exercise in the morning, they don't do it. But when I say, "Oh, we have to learn martial art," then they do it. I think it is something better than exercise. So, yes, so they get up and do it. Anyhow, we have to understand. The more we work, the more the sharper our mind become, and the more clever we become. I have experienced this. Many people who have not been very highly educated, who are my disciples, the one who work very close to me. Some of them are not highly educated, but they has been working since a little bit younger age, maybe due to family circumstances or financial background, since they drop out of high school, or they have to work and earn their high school degree at the same time. I saw them excellent in many fields, very intelligent, very easy to teach, and easy to be around with. That's why most of people who are around with me are the one without academy. Understand? Many of the academic person cannot get around with me because they're so clumsy. They cannot understand what I'm talking about. Even if they do, they don't know how to put it into practice. I have such rich experience about this that if anyone come and try to impress me with his university degree, I just shake my body and left. Very hard. You understand? They try to talk a lot and reason a lot and plan a lot, and they exhaust, no more energy. Just like Tolstoy. He think a lot about leaving home. He think, and at last he wrote a letter, and then that's it. All his energy about leaving is gone. So he never left. He wrote a letter to his wife, and then he never left home. That's the end of his energy. But the people who work hard since young age, or who try to work hard even, whenever they can, they're more clever, sharp, and very fast, very clear-sighted. Because just like they practice very, very long time, you understand? So practice make masters, because most of the job are similar, and most of circumstance you can judge if you are so used to with diversity. You understand? I also have this experience. Also because since I was young, I love to work. You understand? I love to be of help. We have servants in the house, but I always iron my own clothes and wash my own clothes, and even take water for my parents to take bath, and cook tea for my father. Yeah. Sometimes learn to cook food and all that. Understand? And I sometimes take care and help the servants voluntarily. We have about 3-4 servants at a time. No need for me to work, but I always like to work. And probably that's why I'm good at many things, just because I'm used to it, adjustment, you know. Just for example, if you do something a long time, sometimes you don't need to measure it, you know. You just look and you know how much it needed, right? It's very fast. And the same with many other things. The more you use your brain, the more it will become alert and intelligent. Otherwise, you just become more and more stupid, and then you regress into stone or tree. Yeah, that's how people regress. So don't ask me how can people become animal or become regressing into a lower state nature of life. They make it that way. They make themselves that way. You understand? There was a story about a man in China, in Taiwan. He's a kind of medium. He can go to hell or go to heaven, supposedly. Yeah? But that is also happened. And then so one time he went to check around, you know. There is supposed to be a master who took him around. And that man is very pure from childhood, you know. He eats vegetarian and he never married and so, huh? And he meditates, yeah. And that man, he knew also about me. When I first got famous in Taiwan and appeared in the public, and he also came to have a look, and he pressed himself on the window. And since that day, he doesn't do medium work anymore. He say, great master has come, we have to stop all this work in respect to her. We don't need to do all this work anymore. And he has about 200,000 strong followers. I just drop it. Understand? Now this guy, he went to hell and he went around the world to check up and sometimes go to heaven. Maybe it's not very high, but there's some kind of heaven. Because the things he account when he came back or during the voyage, I know is to be true. You understand? So he must have been very genuine. Yeah. So this guy, he went to hell and he wrote many books. Yeah. He accounted, and somebody else at the time, you know, took note of it, and he made some book about hell. One story about hell is like this, very simple. Oh, not hell, about our life, about our human life. It's like this. He was walking around, seeing many things in this world with different eye, yeah, probably astral projection. And he saw a couple, one girl and one boy, just walking on the street and jumping and dancing by the way with the rock and roll music. And so just happy, jumping around like that. And then suddenly, they just run into a pigsty. And then the pig mother just happened to give birth to the children, to the piglings, yeah. And then these two souls just kind of be attracted into this business, and they became pigs just by dancing and not paying attention to where they go. Understand? That's one story. And another story about hell, how people became pig and animals. Many guys, many people who die and then has not enough merit to be born as human again immediately or to be born in heaven. So they were in hell for a while, so-called hell, ne? They'd be punished or doing something terrible to them to clean out their karma, burn out all the bad things, cut out all the morally ulcer from their soul. So they are supposed to be born again. So the king of hell would give them an audience and ask them what is it that they want now, in which kind of position they want, and what kind of life they want to lead, as now they are having the privilege to be born as human again. So anyhow, one by one they'll answer, yeah? Some of them will say, oh, I'm so happy to get to be free of hell now, that I'm sure I'm going to be human being. I'm very honored and very happy, and I'm going to be a good person. And for example, I want to serve, I want to do this. Okay, then they give you a good position. Like being a nurse or doctor or whatever, in a serving position, to give them a good chance to serve people. Okay, good. And another person said, oh, since I have been in hell very long, I'm very terrible, miserable now, I want to enjoy life. I want to have a beautiful surrounding, and beautiful clothes, and a lovely voice so that I can sing and charm all the females, and things like that. And I should have a beautiful abode next to a river, and should have plentiful food that I don't have to go and earn money and to take it. Okay? So anyhow, the king of hell say, all right. And so he told his subordinate, the devils, to bring him exactly what he need. So what did they brought him? A feather. Beautiful bird. Beautiful bird. So shining feather. Yeah, that's what he want. He want beautiful clothes. No need to earn it. Understand? So he had it fixed permanently. No need to wash it even. No trouble. He doesn't want a trouble life. He wants just sit there eating and drinking. And singing even. So he gives him a big, beautiful feather body and then a nice voice. So he can sing all day long. And then place him next to a stream in the forest. Now there are lots of berries, wild fruit, and beautiful surrounding. And he has drinking, eating, and beautiful feather. Nothing to worry about. That's what they give him. Exactly according to what he wants. So do not blame God for our position. It is what we wanted. Now another guy came up also from hell and wanted also a similar thing. Like, I have always been burned in hell, and all my fleshes look like it's all gone. I'm skinny and bony now. I want to get fat to get even, Fat people look very, a lot of blessing to be fat, Most of people think to be fat and big is a kind of meritorious life. I want that. I just want to have a lot of food to eat every day. And people bring food right to my door, right to my mouth, that I don't even have to move. I have been so hard life in hell. I want to make up for it now. I want to just eat and drink and sleep and get fat. Yes. I have been very skinny up till now because all the fire in hell draw my blood out, burn all my fat and all my flesh now. I want to get fat. I want to eat and drink, and people have to serve me, I want people to serve me, bring food up to my door, up to my mouth even. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to earn money for it. Give me that kind of life, okay? That I don't have to worry about food, clothing, and everybody's servant, and okay. So the king tell his subordinate to bring his outfit for this life. You know what is that? A pig skin. Okay, put it on for him, and then he immediately became a pig. And after that he drank a kind of liquid, he forgot everything about his past life, and he just enjoyed to be a pig. And there he has everyday people bring food up to his mouth and wash him, bath him, bring drinking for him, and make him fat. And he has to do nothing at all. So that's the kind of life that he wanted. So he got it. Otherwise, how can you have a human life and you have to do nothing, no responsibility, and you get food and drink, bring it to your mouth without doing anything? Do you think there is a human life like that? No. So they have to give him a pig's life to satisfy his desire. And this is very justified. Because according to what you want, your father give you. Is that not so? Whatever you knock and it shall be given, ask and knock and it shall be open, ask and it shall be given. So if you ask for the impossible thing, you get the impossible life. And that's what it is. That's how many people run into trouble. and be born into lower level of consciousness just because of the misconception, just because they want things for nothing, just because they want to go against the law of karma here in this world. Once we are above the law of karma, then it's okay. We're in heaven, we're in nirvana, then whatever we want, it will be supply. Yeah? We don't even need to want. But when we are in the three world here still, with the physical body, physical needs, physical demands, and we have to make also physical contribution. That's why in the Bible say, with the sweat of your brows you earn your bread. No other way. We have been in Eden, we have been in heaven, but we forsook it. Now we're in this world, we have to obey the law. Take care of yourself and your business. Doesn't mean freedom that you fly in the sky and stay here and open the mouth and waiting for the berries to come. Freedom means you have a great responsibility. Means nobody should have to tell you what to do, but you know what to do. That is when you have freedom. You have freedom by choice. If you know everything, what to do, and take care of your life and your work, then you have freedom. No way before. If you still let people tell you what to do, because you don't know what to do yourself, then you are not free. Doesn't matter how much you want to be free, you are not. Because you're bound within your own ignorance. Understand? You let your mind cheat you. Cheat you into thinking you're free and you're okay when you're not. So there's much work to do for ourselves. And as I said already, your level is up to you. Even if I take you to the fifth and you're not up to it, you're still on the first. Yeah? Even I am for example, I am I'll say the university professor, but you are still in a kindergarten state. If I take you to the college by my own power and position, what do you do there? Understand? You cannot do anything. You don't understand. Even I love you very much, but I cannot help you to be intelligent in such age. So it's up to you. Try to polish your own power, manner, and the way of life. You have to know. You can choose. You can choose whatever you want. But then, do not blame anyone. If you're not free,